My name is Weary Joe, and welcome to this weird other kind of video that I didn't have on my channel before. So I mentioned Keith Ballard a few times during my videos, but he comes up because I posted him a question on Patreon for his Q&A series. And he seemed to like the idea and made a challenge out of it that everyone can participate in. And since it's my stupid idea, I have to take part in this challenge too. And I have no artistic values, so don't expect anything but rectangular maps, because I can use the rectangle tool. But this was my original prompt. Some time ago, you were talking about how much you like the depth of level design of the Fromsoft games, especially Dark Souls. You mentioned your idea that you can give anyone who played one of the Soulsborne games a blank slate and tell him, draw a map of the world with all meaningful items and encounters. And you said that he could do that. I believe you, as I also am a fan of that aspect of the Souls games. But also, I challenge you. Do it. Game of your choice, meaning Dark Souls 1, 2, 3 or Bloodborne. Just any graphics editor. No googling, replaying the game to refresh memory. Using Sharpies and a piece of paper with a camera also works, of course, but as I wanted it to being recorded so that I can see what it does, I picked graphics editor here, but the other thing also works. And also other games would also work, but since this was a Dark Souls centered question, I wanted to have this game of your choice thing be one of the Soulsborne games. Okay, so how will I tackle this? I chose PaintNet, which is like a bigger and more complex version of Paint. Can I click somewhere to show who did this? God damn it. About PaintNet. It's by .pdn LLC, Rick Brewster. I have no idea what his connection to the Paint guys are, but this works really good because it has all the drawing tools that I need, especially the one that I'll need the most, the rectangle. And it also has the layer mechanic that my otherwise favorite editor, GIMP, also has. This GIMP I use for all my thumbnails because it really works very well for them. But it doesn't have the drawing tools, so if I want to draw a rectangle, I make a rectangular selection and then I go to edit, fill selection outline with a solid color. Oh, that already didn't work. Okay. How else? Border? That? Yeah, okay, I do a rectangle, then I make it to the border, and then I fill the selection outline with a solid color. That's not working well at all, so we're not using that. But I used GIMP to make thumbnails like this one and this one, for example. Works fine for those. Did only have to set up the rectangle for that side once, and then I have to fill different colors for different things. Yeah. But as to what game I chose to do, I chose Dark Souls 1, since that's the one game that I covered on my channel, and that's the most recent one I played, the remastered version, of course, and that's the one that I remember the most. I played it about a year ago, a little less than a year, when I started my channel, but I went ahead and made myself a canvas in 4K so that I can start. I might need to do it the other way around, so image resize. Don't maintain the aspect ratio, but change them. That doesn't look right. What were the original? Okay, that doesn't... Okay, it is right. 221, 60. Okay, that doesn't look right. Whatever. Go back. Okay, I went ahead and made a canvas in 4K so that I can start drawing. The map that I first draw won't be that wide, so I'll cut the sides off at one point, but I wanted enough pixels to work with. So we'll be starting with one room, about this size, and we'll have to work with that later. This is the room that we wake up in. And now comes the first decision. I already made it as I put it in the upper right corner, but the decision is, do we go, if we go out of that room, do we go south or do we go north? And we have the Asylum West and East keys telling us which door is in the east and which door is in the west wing. So this can definitely be answered. The problem is, I don't remember off the top of my head before drawing all this, which door is where in the second floor. Oh, and I just saw that I did do the stupid rectangle in the wrong layer, because we are starting in the basement, of course. Yeah, somehow close to that. So we are starting here. And we're going south. I think we're doing that. But we'll see when we get there. Especially I'm interested in, at the first or second floor, there should be a possibility for Oscar to drop our key in our cell. And we'll have to see where that is. And then, after I'm done with the Undead Asylum map, we can check whether I'm right, whether he will drop it from, I think, either the cliff that's outside that leads us away from the asylum, or the balcony that leads us back to the asylum demon chamber. But enough talking. You'll now get a time lapse of me making the map, and then the moment that I'm done with that, I'll go with you through the thing to show all the markings that I make, what kind of hollows they are, what kind of items they are. This will be by far the most detailed map that I can make, because this is really burnt into my memory. And I'll also in a few days upload another video with like the main map of Dark Souls. You can turn in then again if you want. Okay. Yeah, and this is my map of the Undead Asylum, my first little thing in this challenge, where, yeah, let's go through it. We start here in this cell. This cell where we get the dungeon key. There are 4 other cells, all of them are closed. There are 2 hollows in this hallway. There are also a few rats that are, if you look at the intro cutscene, you see that they are miniature version of the rats that you see later in the game. Then you go a bit further, up a little stairway, and then you come into a room that has like water in the corner and an enemy, but you can just go around it, end up in a kind of tower where you climb up a ladder and then go through a door, which is here. You come towards a bonfire. This door to the right, that's also here, only opens from the other side. That's a shortcut door. You enter the big double doors where you encounter the Asylum Demon for the first time. If you defeat him here, you get the Demon Hammer as a reward. If you defeat him later, you get the key that's fitting to the door from him. That's the big Pilgrim's key. But normally you run past him. The hole is only here if you come back to the asylum, so ignore that for now. You run through this gate, which closes behind you, and go down a stairway, which leads you to the second bonfire. This is again a room with like a section of water section that has nothing special this time. You come into a long hallway where you, at the first corner, you see your shield lying. There's a little bit of a bigger room here with like messages on the bottom, how to equip stuff and how to use your shield. And then you can run down this hallway while being shot by a bowman that's here, where you can get your weapon at the end and then turn left, go up a stairway. You go up the stairway and you end up on floor 2, where you go through a fog gate and enter the balcony that oversees the first bonfire section. You can go to the left. There's a broken staircase where you see an item lying on top that you can't get to yet. And you can go right. Here is a double stairway, one leading up, one leading down. And there's an hollow who rolls a boulder down the stairway at you. That also destroys this wall, and behind this wall there's our first NPC. His name is Oscar. He's the one that gave us our dungeon key in the first cutscene. He also gives us the Estus flask and the Asylum Floor 2 East key, which we will in short time use. But also he can give you, I was certain that I forgot to include that here. That's a shame. Yeah, I must have accidentally deleted that. He also gives you the big Pilgrim's key. If you kill the Asylum Demon in the first encounter, you have to go to Oscar to get the big Pilgrim's key for the big door that leads out of the asylum. Then you can go down the stairway, which will end up here and open this shortcut gate to the bonfire. And you can directly go through here and use the big Pilgrim's key if you happen to have defeated the Asylum Demon the first time. This door now is closed. You can't go through this from here. You have to go the other way. You have to go up past the hollow that pushed the boulder at you, and use your floor 2 east key on the door. Go a bit further through the hallway, and here's where you find your ranged weapon if you have a class that has any. It's somewhere at this big room. Then you can go left. This is overlooking the path that leads away. Here 2 melee hollows and 1 bowman hollow, which should be easily defeated. It is about here that you get the tutorial message for parrying, which you will need or might need against this hollow, which is a hollow with a shield. he guards a door that we can't open yet because the west key is in the bonfire shrine on top of a roof, so we can't enter this door yet. But if we do enter it later, we find here the rusted iron ring, which makes you run faster in water. You move in water like normal speed with that one. But then you can go to this fog gate where you can drop down to the Asylum Demon to fight him. After defeating the Asylum Demon, you use the Big Pilgrim's Key to go into this open part of the map. This will later have 4 torch hollows if you come back, but if you come here the first time, there are no enemies. Behind a corner there's a soul item hidden behind like a wall, and on the other side there's a little outcrop where Snuggly the Crow trades us various items. This is our second NPC of the game. And if you move onwards and go there where I put the Undead Asylum title before realizing that I would need the place there, and then I couldn't go backwards in my stupid program. You go over there, it's a little outcrop where you go, and then a cutscene starts where you get taken away by a crow towards the bonfire shrine. And that basically is what is the Undead Asylum. If you come back, there is an extra enemy here. That's a Black Knight. He's guarding the door that you need to enter the Painted World of Ariamis. There will be 2 shield guys in this hallway. And I think that's it for changes if you come back. Yeah, of course, this floor collapses below you and you fight the Stray Demon, who gives you a Titanite slab. From his chamber you go up a ladder and go along a little walkway, and then you drop from a position where we saw an item at the beginning of the game on a ledge that we couldn't reach. We can drop down from there to the beginning of the game. I don't remember if this item was the Titanite slab, but I think the Stray Demon gives you the Titanite slab, which will make this item a homeward bone. Or humanity. One of those two. Because I wasn't sure, I didn't know how to label this one. Okay, and that's the Undead Asylum. I'll be back in a few days with like the overworld map, which will be more rough and not as detailed as this one, and I will only include the most important enemies, and not all of them, although I remember many positions and Titanite lizard positions and stuff, but we won't go to that now. Okay, have a nice day. See you then.